All right, so here we are on the Palos Verdes Peninsula in Southern California. It's beautiful, right? But get this, in just 1 week, this community saw over $25 million in home sales. That's huge. And no, it's not just because of the amazing coastline. There's something else going on, a much bigger story, and we're going to figure it out.
Okay, let's start by digging into that incredible $25 million week. I mean, the numbers here are, well, they're pretty mind-blowing. Yeah, look at that. Over $25.4 million. And you gotta understand, that's not for a whole month. We're talking about a single 7-day stretch. That tells you this market isn't just warm, it is absolutely on fire.
And where did that huge number come from? Just 13 homes. 13! That's almost 2 houses sold every single day. So what we're seeing here is a perfect storm of really high value and super high speed.
Okay, so high value, high velocity. Got it. But how is this actually happening? What are the nitty-gritty numbers telling us? Let's take a look under the hood and decode this market's speed. All right, now this chart is where things get really interesting. You see, new listings are going up. That's good, more inventory. But then boom, look at the closed sales, 13. That high velocity trend, it means homes are basically flying off the shelves as soon as they're listed. And here's the kicker. Even with all that action, the median price is staying rock solid at over $2.2 million. So this isn't some crazy temporary bubble. The value here is real. And if we zoom in a bit, we can see that one area in particular, Rancho Palos Verdes, was basically the epicenter of this whole thing. It was responsible for more than half of all the sales. Now, that's not just a coincidence, right? That points to some serious buyer confidence in that one specific spot. So all of this leads us to the big question. We can see the what, a totally booming market. But what's the why? What's really driving all this momentum? Because this feels like more than just a hot streak. There has to be a real engine behind it all. And you know what? The answer is probably not what you're thinking. We're not talking about the usual suspects, like interest rates or how the stock market is doing. Nope. The main reason for all this is something much more fundamental, something baked right into the community itself. And here it is, straight from the source. The number one reason for this market's incredible strength, it's the Palos Verdes Peninsula Unified School District, the PVPUSD. It's literally named as the primary catalyst for long-term property value on the hill. It's the schools. I mean, just let that sink in for a second. People aren't just buying a house with a pretty view. They're buying access to a world-class education for their kids. They are literally targeting their home searches to be inside these school district lines. And that creates this constant, non-stop demand. This effect is so strong, it actually has a name. The source calls it the Educational Equity Shield. And honestly, it's a concept that might just change how you think about real estate value. It's like a protective force field for property values. So what exactly is an equity shield? Well, think of it like this. It's a buffer that protects home values from the normal ups and downs of the economy. See, the demand for great schools, that never really goes away. So you always have this deep pool of buyers who need to live there. It basically insulates the area from the craziness you see in other markets. It's like a financial moat around your biggest investment. And we're not just talking about a couple of good high schools here. The PVPUSD is the whole shebang. It's a complete system, from preschool and early learning right on through elementary, intermediate, high school, and even adult education. It's the entire package, which makes it an absolute magnet for families who are thinking long-term. Okay, so let's pull back from Palos Verdes for a second. What's the big takeaway here? What does this specific story tell us about real estate value in general? The big lesson is this: those foundational things in a community, great schools, beautiful parks, a vibrant downtown, those are often the real drivers of long-term, resilient value. They create a kind of stability that a hot market trend just can't compete with. And this chart really just nails it, doesn't it? On one side, you've got all the temporary stuff, shifting trends, interest rates going up and down. It's unpredictable. But on the other side, you have the institutional bedrock, the permanent assets. The demand for great schools doesn't vanish when the economy gets shaky. That's what creates that stable equity shield we were just talking about. So that leaves us with one final question for you to think about. What are the hidden equity shields in your own community? Maybe it's a great school district, sure, but maybe it's a university, a really popular park system, or a cool art scene. What are the quiet engines that are building and protecting value right where you live?